country, but I'm sure that they would be willing to get in touch if you think that this could be a good idea.
Je ne sais pas si vous avez cette initiative, ce groupe chez vous. Si vous n'avez pas ça, ils seront contents de venir établir ça chez vous. Je vais les contacter si vous voulez, et puis ils vont venir établir ça chez vous.
Okay.
Nous n'avons pas.
Ok, so, Sœur Consolée, vous pouvez nous écrire à cette adresse, sisters@spc.va, et puis nous pouvons vous donner plus d'informations. Ok?
Sister, if you want us to come to your place, please write us on this address and we will surely come over to your area. Thank you very much. Okay, any more questions? Okay. Mike online, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes.
Because I suppose that most of you speak French, so I just translated with a translation machine a presentation from English into French. Can I share it with you? So then,
please, that would be wonderful.
I will talk in English, but you may read so that you understand what I'm talking about.
Oh, no problem. That would be wonderful.
Okay, so you see here.
Okay.
You see this in
yes,
big as well, yeah?
Okay. I'm seeing it at the corner, yeah.
Yeah. One moment. Just check if I can.
Bon,
yeah,
Mike disait qu'il a compris que la plupart d'entre nous parlent français, donc il a fait la traduction en français et il y aura le côté anglais puis le côté français pour les amis qui parlent français.
So I wanted to I don't know if you see it.
Now it's not in the mode.
Not there, yeah? Yeah.
How you exit it, yeah.
Once again. So maybe this will work. Can you read this, or is it too small?
Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I just saw one here, but no, you can talk. I will translate.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now it's not in it doesn't show like presentation mode.
Better?
It doesn't show.
It's not coming like presentation.
Yeah.
But you can try to enlarge and like this.
If you can enlarge it, and if it can be this way, that would be wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it better that way?
Is it better? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But then it's not moving. Like, okay, I would like it to move. As you go, you move it.
Yeah.
I can't move it from here, but you can move it. Go ahead.
I want to talk about one thing that can be also a message of hope that the church can give in a very serious problem that we have in social media. And I wonder if it's also in your country a big issue. You see here.
Je veux parler I'm seeing it.
Yeah,
I'm
so
seeing it now.
yeah, you see,
Donc, les gens, si vous ne parlez pas anglais, vous pouvez lire parce que c'est bien écrit ici.
Yeah, yeah. So
Uh-huh.
we
Mike,
have.
we're seeing it. We're seeing it now. Thank you very much. So you move as you talk.
Okay, so don't. In the world, we have more and more use of screen time. Yeah, that people are in front of screens. We have 6 heures et 14 minutes avant l'écran. So that's 40% in many countries, 40% of the wakening hours, the time that you are awake. You see here on the right side, you see some countries, the 10 countries that have the most screen time. And on the very top is South Africa. I'm not so sure how it is in your region, but certainly you notice also that this time in front of screens is growing. And in some countries, we have a real big screen time, in particular with young people. This is changing our culture, and this is changing our way that we communicate. Here you see some of the changes. One of the changes is, for example, that you are communicating with a great degree of anonymity today for other users. It's not like in the face-to-face world. You are communicating with more communication that is aggressive or polarizing, bullying. Because the algorithms of the internet, they push this kind of emotionalizing content forward. We have a different way of role models that are there for the young people that they are confronted with in the online world. It's not anymore somebody that is in the proximity, but it's somebody that is somewhere out there in the world, and it's a big space to compare with. And it's also a little bit not a real comparison, not a comparison with a real person that can that you can take within your social environment as a model. Young people are also sometimes feeling permanently unseen, so their identity is partly medially staged construction, mise en scène, médiatiquement mise en scène. And they also have a permanent evaluation, a ranking, a rating, or something like a gamification of the quality of relations that they are having. And also the reception setting is different. In other mass media formats, you are consuming content in a community, in a real and present community. So if you watch TV, the parents would be present, some other people would be present. With a mobile phone, it's really just like you and the mobile phone. It's you and the mobile phone. Very individual, and you get your personal stream. It's not a stream that everybody receives. It's your personalized stream. And in this new environment has caused some really severe well-being problems. Problème de bien-être numérique, you can call them. I just translated that by the machine. I'm not sure if it's the right French word. But you have 37% of young people that are victims of cyberbullying, cyberintimidation. You have 40% of students, in particular in the Western countries or Northern Hemisphere countries, that have more and more problems with mental health, santé mentale. And you have 11% that have signs of problematic social media use and also of gaming, which is these are quite big numbers. I unfortunately do not have exact numbers of the region of Recowa, but there might be some countries or urban areas in your region that have these problems as well. But let's now move to what can we do about? What would be the message of hope that the church can give? What would be our hope in this more and more polarized world and this more aggressive communication environment? And that is that we have a lot of Catholic schools, that we have 60 million students studying there, that we have a lot of universities, that we have dioceses, that we have parishes. And what is this? This is basically a real presence on the ground, a very big presence on the ground that can be used to help young people entering the digital space and accompanying them in the digital space. The Dicastery for Communication also issued a pastoral reflection on the engagement with social media, and it's called Towards Full Presence, Vers la pleine présence. And there you will, I think it's also there in French, you will find a lot of approaches and reflections that will help you, even if you can be aware that young people know social media much better than you, can help you to still add for them something and that where you can find a way how you can accompany them in this world. You see some of these approaches listed here on the. So it's kind of proposing to promote a human-centered and value-based communication. It's proposing the parable of the Good Samaritan that could help us to see this world as a world where we have to tend to wounds and injuries alongside the digital highway, where this is a very big task could be a very big task for pastoral workers. And understanding also the social media as a space, not as a tool, helping young people to understand the difference between connexion et la relation, learning to listen with our heart in social media, and also use what was just said before, create a culture of new Christian storytelling in the internet. That would be approaches that you can take from this reflection. We have at Cameco, we have done also as social media or kind of a digital media education policy training for school directors, and it was very well perceived. We had I will just jump here a little bit. You see here some of the quotations of the participants. So it's a very it was a training that encourages educators at schools to really take this world in which the young people are moving around that really serious, and try to accompany them there, give them skills, not necessarily the technical skills, but the skills to deal with all these things emotionally, and to help them evaluating content, understanding the content, understanding the mechanisms that are behind all these things. Yeah, this is just a little impulse. I actually, yeah, we have, maybe I can also share this one here with you. These were the lessons learned, yeah, that you have from the training. What we found out, where are the entry points? The entry points could be the schools, because the schools are a place where young people come together, and they listen to things that they need to know, not necessarily that they want to know. The participants also said that it's sometimes hard to talk about social media in the class, but if you address young people at the pain points, at these wounds that they have gotten, that might be an entry point into the discussion. That also requires a lot of listening. You find this point later there also. We also found that though there are differences, there is not much difference in the kind of problems that we have. We have them in the Western world as well as in the global South. Yeah, that schools need to, in some urban cultures, need also to help young people to learn again about real and non-mediated relationships, and about the difference, as I said, between connection and staging your life and having a real relationship with people. Also, parents and teachers, also important, need to learn to listen, refrain from teaching knowledge, because the young people know much more about social media tech and how it works than we, as our generation. But our generation can emphasize with them. Our generation can help them in their difficulties of putting the content that they receive at its place, yeah, relativating the content. And this is also done by learning how to think critically, and methods to allow alternative experiences. Yeah, so that is it in a nutshell. I'm ready to answer some question, but I also have to say I have to leave very soon.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mike. Michael, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We hope also you can send us your message. You can send us this lecture.
Yeah.
You can send it to my address, and then I will share it to every participant. Thank you very much, Mike. Do you have any question for Michael? Questions for Michael before we go over to Kameko? No questions? No questions? Anybody? Vous avez des questions à poser à notre frère Michael. Vous pouvez peser en français ainsi qu'en anglais, n'importe quelle langue. Okay, Mike, you are saved from questions. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Fabiola, Fabiola, are you there?
Oui, oui, oui.
All right.
Je suis ici.
Yeah.
Je suis là, oui,
Yes.
oui. Hello,
Yeah.
hello.
Are you speaking in French or English?
Bon, je peux parler un peu les deux, hein. Donc, je fais moi-même la traduction, l'interprétation. Donc, c'est plus
Oh,
facile pour
c'est très
vous.
bon. Donc, vous parlez en anglais, vous parlez en français.
C'est bon, c'est bon. I'll do
Qu'est-ce
both languages. So it
que
will...
vous avez préparé pour nous ce matin?
Bon, en fait, juste seulement pour remercier une fois encore Michael Onland, c'est le directeur ici de Cameco, Catholic Media Council, et je suis Fabiola. Je travaille aussi au sein de Cameco. On est basé en Allemagne, à la ville de Aachen, Aix-la-Chapelle. Et donc, je vous salue, tout le monde d'ici, de mon côté. J'ai préparé quelques mots juste pour ajouter et complémenter un peu ce que mon directeur a déjà transmis quelque chose. Donc, so I prepared just a little bit more, some words to complement what our director, Michael Lunland, mentioned a couple of moments ago. Actually, he was sharing a bit some ideas on our experience as Cameco from a training we conducted end of last year on digital media education. So Michael Unland, il vient juste de partager un peu notre impression sur notre aperçu, un peu notre expérience sur une information qu'on a ici en ligne la fin de l'année passée sur l'éducation aux médias numériques, hein, juste pour un peu le contextualiser. Et maintenant, je voudrais offrir quelques remarques sur une notion de communauté d'affect. En anglais, ça veut dire communities of affect. I would like to offer some remarks about this idea, this notion. En portugais, comunidades de afeto. C'est quoi, non? La communauté d'affect. Oui.
Excusez-moi, Fabiola.
Oui.
Puisque vous avez... Il y en a en français ici, vous pouvez parler en anglais, on lit ça en français.
OK, je vais lire en français. Et après,
en anglais, on voit ça en français ici. On voit ça en bas en français, donc vous pouvez parler en anglais.
Ah, OK, bon, moi-même, je viens de... OK, il y avait déjà la traduction. Bon, je vais faire mon mieux en tout cas, hein? Il faut que je pratique aussi un peu le français. Bon, toutes mes excuses pour ma prononciation. Mais c'est l'idée d'une communauté d'affect, hein? Est centrée sur la capacité de toucher l'autre dans la solidarité. Donc, il faut qu'un espace sûr, un espace de sécurité existe pour former des communautés d'affect, cette notion de communauté d'affect, afin de favoriser les dialogues et de créer des récits qui soient transformateurs. Donc, the idea of community of affect is centered on the capacity to touch the other in solidarity. So a safe space for shaping communities of affect should exist, a space that is secure, that is safe for the dialogue to be fostered and transformative narratives to be created. So we are speaking now on storytelling and narratives, right? On vient de parler un peu avec Natacha et aussi avec la Sermina un peu sur le storytelling, les récits. Donc, il faudrait toujours avoir un espace sûr. So, donc, transposer cette notion de communauté d'affect à les sphères de la communication peut potentialiser les perceptions sur les principes d'égalité et la capacité à toucher l'autre avec sympathie. Les communautés d'affect peuvent favoriser la reconnaissance collective des problèmes et l'élaboration de solutions qui soient possibles. Il s'agit d'un processus continu vers un bien commun pour l'acceptation de la diversité. Donc, en anglais ici, so transposing this notion of community of affect to the communication sphere can potentialize people's perceptions, principles of equality, and the capacity to touch the other in a sympathetic way. So communities of affect can nurture a collective acknowledgement of problems and the envisioning of possible solutions. So it is a continuous process towards a common good and acceptance of diversity. J'ai quelques un peu plus de choses, des remarques, un peu des réflexions pour vous offrir ici. Donc, le dialogue ne présuppose pas une forme passive de communication ou un combat d'un argument. Il vise à écouter des opinions différentes et à partager des significations. Le dialogue est la rencontre entre des personnes, des communautés médiatisées par la parole, avant de nommer le monde, comme l'a déclaré déjà le pédagogue brésilien qui s'appelle Paulo Freire sur l'émancipation de l'individu. So the dialogue does not presuppose a passive form of communication or winning an argument in a war in a combative way. It aims at listening to different opinions and sharing meanings. And dialogue is the encounter between people, between communities, that is mediated by the word in order to name the world, to name realities, as Sister Nina said as well. And this was this idea was stressed by the Brazilian pedagogue called Paulo Freire about the emancipation of the individual. Parce que le dialogue est une rencontre de création mutuelle, réciproque, il ne peut être un acte d'arrogance et ne doit pas servir d'un instrument de domination. Il ne peut exister dans un climat de désespoir. L'espoir est présent dans les communautés d'affect. Elle s'accompagne d'un engagement quotidien pour le territoire et les autres. So because dialogue is an encounter of mutual creation, it cannot be an act of arrogance and should not serve as an instrument for domination. It cannot exist in a climate of hopelessness. And today we are speaking of hope. Aujourd'hui, on parle de l'espoir, no? So hope is present in the communities of affect, in this notion, and it brings with it an everyday commitment to the territory and to the other people, and to the cultures as well, of course. So, une culture de dialogue, je suis juste en train de finir dans quelques moments. Donc, une culture de dialogue deviendrait alors un ensemble d'actions habituelles pratiquées régulièrement. Pour qu'un dialogue ait lieu, il faut de la volonté, un sentiment d'égalité et un espace de communication sûr que je viens de parler, non? C'est par la communication que les membres de la société civile, que les différentes communautés s'engagent par exemple, dans la résolution des problèmes, des conflits, dans l'identification du bien commun, la réalisation de la paix civile, en tant que coopération, collaboration, dépend d'une civilité discursive et aussi narrative des espaces sûrs. So a culture of dialogue would then become an habitual set of actions that are practiced regularly. So for a dialogue...
Fabiola?
Yes, oui, yeah. Je suis ici. Yeah.
We're coming to an end.
Perfect. So let me go for finally then to finish.
Yeah, that's right.
Perfect. Juste pour finir, donc, la communication entre les parties, l'éducation des différentes parties, c'est aussi l'identification des intérêts sous-jacents, l'écoute des griefs, sont autant des éléments de la résolution des différents conflits, par exemple, que les médias et les communications et les narratives, les récits peuvent promouvoir. So, just to finish, then, so the exercise of convening communication through storytelling, narrative, among different sides, in order to identify common interests and listening to perhaps grievances or differences are elements of transformation of our reality of conflict, any type of conflict, that the use of media and communication can also be important. So, je vous remercie encore. I thank you very much. for your
Mercy, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Fabiola. Thank you for your wonderful exposition. Does anybody have any question to ask? Il y a des questions à poser à notre sœur Fabiola. Natasha?
Yes?
Yes, I invited the secretary. Is he around? Can he give us a word? Otherwise, somebody from the dicastery can give us a message.
I am from the dicastery.
Yes,
I
either
don't know
you
how
or
many
Sister
people
Nina.
did you invite.
So I invited the secretary to give us a word, to tell us a word on advise us as communicators from Africa. But I guess it's not available. Can any of you now take his place and give us the word?
But I have already spoken, Father George.
Yeah.
I think
It's
that's
between
fine.
you,
What
between you
I
and
already
sister.
said, it's okay.
Yeah, so Sister Nina can talk on his behalf. Since the secretary is not here, has anybody anything to tell us? All the participants. I can see Father. Has anybody anything to say? Father Tarsis? Has anybody any word to tell us? Go ahead if you have.
Yes, please. Just a curiosity. Can we get me, sir?
Go ahead, Father Tarsia.
Yeah, for an introduction, I'm Father Tasia from Liberia, serving as the Acting Communication Director for the Bishops' Conference of Liberia. I just have a curiosity and a concern which I don't know if the Dicastero can be a help for future situations like these. Because most of the time, these are trainings and workshops are very much important for what we need as communicators to be able to communicate the church properly, as we were saying, communication or hope telling or communication of hope or something like that. So I was thinking if it is a possibility or something that the Dicastero can do to help in the process of making these kind of future meetings or future, how they would say, mandatory for bishop conferences, presidents, and secretary generals to make it so that they can look for way and sponsor these kind of trainings so that the directors or the communication office or the communication secretariat can have a proper way of getting some of this information and be able to implement processes that can be able to communicate the church properly to other people or to non-Christians or other denominations.
Exactly. Thank you so much for that, Tasia. Thank you so much. Any other person with a point? You have a point? Thank you very much, Father. Natasha, you took notes.
Pardon?
You heard him. You heard what he said.
Only partially.
Okay, I will write it and send to you. He was talking about organizing this meeting again in the future.
Okay. Yes.
How best to do it. So I will send you a message.
Okay.
Any other person with I saw Sister Maria Goretti. Do you have anything to say from Nigeria? Unmute. Yeah, do you have anything to tell us? Hello, is anybody anything to say? I invited Bishop Mfumbi. Did he send anybody? Okay. Natasha?
Yes.
Okay, at this point, they have said all. You have said all. So we close for now until next time when I will invite you again to talk to us.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Father Niset, can you say the closing prayer?
Ok. Au nom du Père et du Fils et du Saint-Esprit,
Amen.
Merci Seigneur pour ce temps que nous avons passé ensemble. Merci de nous avoir envoyé ton Esprit Saint. Merci d'être resté au milieu de nous. Que ta grâce continue de nous accompagner tous les jours de notre vie et que nous puissions rendre capables de pouvoir annoncer et communiquer l'espérance à tous ceux qui en ont besoin. Accorde-nous la grâce d'être des porteurs d'espérance dans notre monde aujourd'hui. Toi qui es Dieu pour les siècles des siècles. Amen.
Amen.
Le
We need
Seigneur
a
soit avec
blessing.
vous.
Et
Que
avec
Dieu
votre
Tout-Puissant
esprit.
vous bénisse et vous garde, le Père, le Fils et le Saint-Esprit. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very. Who is
Thank you
talking?
very much.
Thank you.
Father Anissé.
Thank you so
Father
much. Thank
Father
you,
Anissé.
Father.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much, Father.
Au revoir
Thank
et à la
you.
prochaine.
Merci.
Ciao, merci.
Thank you.
Merci.
Merci. Ciao,
Ciao,
ciao.
ciao. Merci.
Merci, papa.
Can you stay back for the picture, for a group photo? Please wait for a group photo. Wait. Wait where you are for a group photo. Reste. Nous allons prendre les photos.
Father Anissé,
Oui,
envoie-moi ton numéro.
d'accord.
Attendez, nous allons prendre des photos.
Tu me connais?
Si.
Ok.
C'est fait? Ok, c'est fait? C'est fait. Merci beaucoup.
Merci
À la
beaucoup.
prochaine.
Allez,
Merci.
ciao.
Father Sylvestre.
Oui, mon frère.
Oui,
Je suis à Rome maintenant.
Alors, je suis en train de chercher. Je viens un instant. Hein.
Oui.
Mon numéro, on va se retrouver sur WhatsApp tout à l'heure. Mon numéro WhatsApp, c'est le plus 229.
229.
Voilà.
Oui.
96.
96.
16.
16.
18, 19.
18, 19. Voilà. Je te fais signe.
Donc, merci, mon père.
Oui, mon frère.
Father George, le pape africain. Sa sainteté, Father George.
Toi, là, vraiment, on en parlera.
Ok.